So in the 140 odd days between now and the presidential election, we're obviously going to be seeing a lot more of Donald Trump. Donald Trump gave an interview to Nigel Farage.
He won't be there long if that's the case. I don't know much about him.
It's not clear that Donald Trump really knows who Kevin Rudd is.
Jason, do you think Donald Trump knows who Kevin Rudd is now?
I think it's fair to say that Donald Trump probably does know who Kevin Rudd is right now. You know, when it was clear that Donald Trump had won the presidential election last week, Kevin Rudd put out a statement congratulating Donald Trump, and then on Kevin Rudd's private website, he also put out a statement saying that out of respect to the incoming president, he had deleted these criticisms that he'd made of Donald Trump. And of course, Kevin Rudd's criticisms of Donald Trump are putting Kevin Rudd under a lot of pressure because you know what Kevin Rudd has said about Trump in the past has been pretty pointed and highly disparaging.
In the last 4 years has been run by a village idiot, competent in its national statecraft, and the United States increasingly incompetent in its national statecraft.
So he hasn't held back in terms of what he thinks of Donald Trump. Well, I think the big question, just what kind of access is Kevin Rudd going to get to Donald Trump's White House after Donald Trump is sworn in? And an early signal of what Kevin Rudd can expect was given to us this week by Dan Scavino. He's the person that Trump has said will be the Deputy Chief of Staff in his administration. And this week, Dan Scavino posted a GIF of an hourglass, and underneath that, he included a screenshot of Kevin Rudd's statement congratulating Donald Trump on his election win last week. And I think everyone understood that Dan Scavino's tweet was a signal that Kevin Rudd's time as Australian ambassador to the US is running out, and running out pretty quickly. Kevin Rudd has worked extremely hard, I think, since he was appointed as Australia's ambassador to Washington in March last year. He's built bridges not just with people in Trump's orbit, but key Republican members of the United States House of Representatives and the US Senate. Kevin Rudd has also been able to make inroads with the Washington media establishment. Several, prominent journalists in Washington are regular guests at the Australian ambassador's official residence in Washington, which is called White Oaks. Kevin Rudd has also set up a tennis tournament called the Kangaroo Cup, which is played on the Australian ambassador's famous lawn tennis court. I think it's the only lawn tennis court in Washington. I would say that Kevin Rudd loves being Australia's ambassador to Washington. And who wouldn't? Because you get to mix in that very heady world that is, Washington politics. He's got a beautiful house to live in. You're really at the centre of the political universe. And given what a consummate networker Kevin Rudd is, he's in his element there as Australia's ambassador to Washington. So I reckon he would absolutely love what he's doing.
And he gets the tennis court.
And he gets to play tennis on an amazing lawn tennis court. I don't think Anthony Albanese would recall Kevin Rudd as Australia's ambassador to Washington. I think that would just be too embarrassing for the Australian government and for Australia. I think if it becomes clear that Kevin Rudd's position in Washington is untenable, then I think Kevin Rudd would take the first step and actually resign as ambassador to the US.